What's up, guys? This is IDrewMan, and in this episode we take down Chaos Witch Quelaag, or Quelaag, or however you want to pronounce the spider witch chaos lady person. Spider, yeah, I think I included that in her name, but Quelaag, Quelaag, however you want to pronounce her. We take her down in this episode, and yes, she's a moderately difficult boss. Primarily because her sword has fire effect damage, and it goes past your shield. And let's skip the rest of that cutscene. And going straight into the boss fight right here. At the beginning, you just want to be careful of her jump forward lava spitting move. Typically, one of her first moves will be the move where her spider spits out lava for a few seconds. That's probably what she's gonna do. What I do when I fight her is I typically stay up really close to her. I typically go on the right side of her. Actually, but I learned if you go on the left side of her, when up close, really close to her, if you're on the left side, you actually will pretty much avoid all her sword swings. I typically just roll back or hide to her right. That's what I used to do. But that swing right there can actually hit you. So if you go on the left side, you should be safe. So you want to be careful. That spitting a lava move can actually shoot backwards. I kid you not. Once I was attacking her from behind, she spat and it went backwards and hit me and killed me. So when she does this move where she spits out lava for about 5 to 10 seconds, that is just free hits all the way. But I also recommend you keep a little bit of stamina left to roll away if she does that move right here. The way you can see that move is her spider just kind of slowly goes towards the ground, and the witch lady on top will lean forward on top of the spider's head. As soon as she does that, you want to roll away. When the spider does that, all this fire stuff comes around her feet, so you obviously want to stay away from that as well, because that can do some serious damage. I'm using a battle axe +5 for this boss. Any upgraded weapon is preferable. An unupgraded weapon is pretty much out of the question. You have to have an upgraded weapon if you want to beat this boss efficiently, unless you want to fight her for like an hour, hoping that you can dodge every single one of her attacks. So, right here I was being stupid, and I was running away while she was doing that Spitfire move, so yeah, you want to be careful of the lava. Also, the lava has some very tricky hitboxes. You basically just want to stay out of the way of the lava altogether, because sometimes you'll be like a few feet away in the game, but it'll actually hit you, so you really want to be careful about that. Her range also, in her 3-swing combo, her third swing has actually a lot of range, because it's just a stabbing move, where the fire just kind of shoots out towards the front of the sword, her sword. You want to just either block that and take the damage, or you want to see if you can just roll back or roll to the side at the last second. She also has a slow swinging sword move, and that you just want to either be really far away from her, or you want to be really close to her, like where I told you to hide, like right about where I am right now. So you want to be careful. Typically, when he spits lava, he's gonna jump. The spider's gonna jump away. He, she. I think the spider's the same gender as the girl. I'm not totally sure. I guess it's all one being, so technically it's a female, but I'm not gonna get all into the gender stuff. But right here you can see I'm getting really close to being finished. Ultimately, this boss isn't too challenging. See right there, there's an example of her spitting backwards, and right there just being stupid ran through lava. So be careful of lava. Lava's not good. Lava does a lot of damage to you. But when you step in the lava, typically you have a few seconds to hitbox, and right there you see her little explosion of fireness around her. So that was a really good visual on what it looks like to be prepared. This jump fire move you want to be careful of when she jumps. If you're in a difficult spot like where I was, you're going to either want to roll away or just run backwards, whichever one works for you. But you kill her, and then you get the Soul of Quelaag. What that does is, if you use that soul with an upgraded curved sword +10, it turns it into Quelaag's Fury Sword. That is the same sword that she was using in this boss fight. The sword itself does not is not on fire, but when you hit enemies, it does do a fire damage effect. So that's a really nice aspect about that sword. So that's one thing one thing you want to be aware of in that sword is that it, fire damage and physical damage both are really good, especially against Ornstein and Smo, which is a very tough double boss fight that you have to fight later in this game. So, and one of them is weak to fire, so it's definitely recommended that you pick up that sword if you're new to the game. I used it my first playthrough and it was awesome. So by about this point in the game, the Drake sword, if you picked it up, should start to diminish in value to you. Its power is just starting to dwindle, and there's another item up ahead in Sin's Fortress, which is the gate that's opening now. That is the second novice item. If you're playing this game and you're playing with the Drake sword, and it's your first playthrough, after you get the Drake sword, you should grab the lightning spear, which is located inside Sin's Fortress, and I show y'all how to get that. So yeah, right here when you talk to this guy, make sure you say yes. If you say no, he will not let you pass, and you will have to kill him to get past. But he also has these little worm maggot things, which are incredibly annoying because their hitboxes are really small. So make sure you say yes to get to this next bonfire. This is Quelaag's sister, I believe, who was also transformed to a Chaos Spider Lady, but she is dying. So I believe Quelaag is trying to kill you in an effort to take your humanity, if you have it, and give it to her sister, which is the lady, or the spider lady who's dying, in an effort to keep her sister alive. So that's why Quelaag is trying to kill you when you walk in. It's pretty much every boss has a motive for trying to kill you. It's nothing pointless. It's not like, hey, let's kill this guy because he's in my domain. It's like, I'm trying to kill you to save my sister, or something along those lines. Pretty much every boss has a motive to kill you. So yeah, Dark Souls has logic. Every boss makes sense if you look up lore to it. Hardly anything in these games is random. Everything makes sense. So if you want to really get into Dark Souls, there's a ton of lore videos on YouTube. Just check a few of them out. Even the basic story ones still have a lot of detail. So I recommend you check those out. And finally, the time has come for us to leave this horrible place known as Blighttown. I don't think anyone liked it their first playthrough. It's just a terrible, terrible place. They did a great job at making people not like it. I commend you for that, FromSoft. Good job. All right, so here we are. We are killing some insect tick things. I really don't know what they are, but there's a much faster way out of Blighttown than the way you came in. If you beat that boss and you're like, well, crap, I don't want to leave that really, really long way, there is a much, much shorter way out of Blighttown. So don't worry, you will not have to walk a very long distance. You will just have to, I guess, fight your way out. But it's not too bad at all. So the only reason I'm coming back and hitting this bonfire right here, the one that we hit in the previous episode, the only reason I'm resting at it is because there is a tricky part that tends to throw me off on the way out. I get it about 50% of the time just because it has a really weird landing box to step on. So that is why I hit the bonfire, because I was afraid I was going to die. So I don't end up dying, but I will show you where it is. So right here, from that last bonfire, if you follow this route, it leads to this little thing here. I guess it's a lift something, but at the top of this lift, it's a very kind of tricky box or I guess landing platform right there. It's a little bit farther away. Make sure not to roll. Rolling is bad. Just walk off the edge like I did. Every time I've tried to roll off of it, I've died every single time, so make sure not to roll. Just walk off like I did. It's just a really, really tricky box for how it looks. It's a lot harder than you'd think. So I tend to fall off of it. So that's just something I have trouble with. I guess it's just a personal thing, because I'm obviously not good at Dark Souls or anything. But anyways, just killing mosquito guys. All right, right over here, there is that. See that this little wooden bridge over here. over there, if you cross the wooden log things, it leads to a chest that holds some pretty good armor, or decent armor. It's called the Crimson Robe set. It's for magicians, or I don't know, sorcerers or clerics, or I don't know. You can just wear it if you want to, but it's armor for those types of people. But be careful of that toxic dark guy, by the way. But wait, time out. If you go to that toxic dark guy, there's like 5 in that area where he is. However, there's also a Firekeeper soul to upgrade your Estus flask, so you can go over there if you want to. But back to the Crimson Robe set. There's also a sorcery called a Remedy, and I believe that lifts a curse, if I'm not correct. It lifts curses and like heals you from status stuff. I think, but it's a pretty interesting remedy. And if you notice, I kind of forgot to kill a weird tentacle squid guy thing over there. So make sure to get this chest and get the key to New Londo Ruins. That's very essential to escaping Blighttown. So you can get the Crimson Robe set, you can get the Firekeeper soul. You need to get the key to the New Londo Ruins. That's kind of a necessity. So on our way out, there's some of these guys. I just roll past them. That was really close. There's a demonstration of the invincibility frames that you get in your rolls. Yeah, so here we are, headed back to the Valley of the Drakes. We are actually we were in the Valley of the Drakes earlier. We got the red tearstone ring here, I believe. The very first death that was in this playthrough was after I got the red tearstone ring. So here we are. I got the large soul of a nameless soldier. You can actually open this door from both sides if you have the master key. So from right at the very beginning of the game, if you have the master key, you can actually go straight to Blighttown. So I mean, I personally don't recommend it, but I mean, you can go there. You can open a ton of shortcuts in this game just using the master key. And if you notice, we're back here in New Londo Ruins. We were here a few times now. I think it was just once now. With that, when we got the Firekeeper soul in part 1. It looks it's a little scenic view right here. It's kind of pretty, I guess. Pretty wouldn't be the correct term, but it's scenic, atmospheric. Right here I'm just kind of dancing. I really have nothing to do when you're on here. So when you get to the top, though, you will actually notice a kind of an odd surprise. Wait for it. Okay, that's too long of a wait, but you basically run back up to where the Firekeeper was here, but lo and behold, she is dead. You pick up this stuff and you get her equipment along with the Black Eye Orb. If you haven't guessed it already, Knight Lautrec has killed her. He was the knight in the golden armor who got out of the jail cell, and if you notice, you cannot go to the bonfire because she is gone. So make sure not to die now, or you'll go all the way back to Blighttown. So yeah, you want to be careful of that. But what the Black Eye Orb does, you pick that up with the rest of her the girl's equipment, the Firekeeper's equipment. You get the Black Eye Orb, and what that orb does is it makes it so that you can invade Knight Lautrec later in the game. There's a spot later where it says the Black Eye Orb is shaking, or something along those lines. Then what you do is you want to use the Black Eye Orb right there, and then what will happen is you will invade Knight Lautrec's world, and he will have 2 other buddies with him, so you have to fight 3-on-1. You're the one, he has him and 2 other guys, so it's definitely not the easiest fight in the world, but I will show that for you guys who are having trouble with it. And once you kill him, you do get a Firekeeper soul. However, it is the Firekeeper soul of the woman who was at the Firelink Shrine, so you can either use the Firekeeper soul you got to reinforce your Estus flask, or to make the lady come back to life. So it's your choice. I personally recommend you bring the lady back to life to use that bonfire. It's just a really Firelink Shrine's bonfire is just a really useful bonfire altogether. So here we are back in Undeadburg to prepare to go to Sin's Fortress, because if you noticed in that last cutscene, Sin's Fortress's gates have been opened. So now we can proceed with the game. I also just gave Andre the large ember, so now I can modify my battle axe to +6, and then I can upgrade it from there to +10. However, I only get it to +8 right now because I don't have enough large Titanite shards. But by this time, you should have a lot of large Titanite shards and souls and stuff from Quelaag and from Blighttown. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned for next time when we take on the entire Sin's Fortress. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and to keep these videos coming. So stay tuned for next time, alright?